It was good. I thought that it would be a little easier the second time around, and I was horribly mistaken. I think what had happened was last year was a little bit of ignorance is bliss, and the more that I learned about the process and all of the technical aspects of directing, the more I had to think about this year. And so I think it was just a little more to deal with. But I have an amazing support team here as far as the crew and the producers and everybody that's involved in the show. And it was a really neat experience. I'm really glad I did it. So.
And from my point, it's the second time he's obviously directed me, but this time I worked every day of the episode. In his last episode, I probably worked 4 of the days. Three of the days. And here I worked every day with him. But we've established such a common working ground over the last 130 whatever episodes that it felt like coming to work. And I always like when when an actor is directing, because they understand. They don't say like, say this louder or funnier or say this like sadder. They'll just say, hey, Sam just learned this. Sam's wanting to do that, which helps me go like, oh yeah, of course. Not telling me like, hey, act more in a hurry. He'll say like, hey, Sam's on the way. Remember, you're on your way to this. Not like, act like you're in a hurry. So as he speaks to an actor like an actor wants to be talked to. So it was good for me.
Well, it's also, I mean, he and I have been kind of watching each other's backs for 6.5 years now, right. From an acting standpoint. If he doesn't take. And I know that he wasn't hitting on all cylinders, and I'll be like, hey, you can do one better, and he'll do the same for me. He'll be like, try this line this way. So we, in a sense, we kind of direct each other all the time. So there was already that kind of sense of camaraderie and that rapport, that trust that we've had within each other. So the fact that I was able to give him direction, it really wasn't that odd. It was just right. I was just giving more than usual. So right. Directing myself was it's a bit challenging because as an actor, my job is focused on just portraying Dean and bringing him to life and making making the story and the lines that are written for him as believable and as good as they can possibly be. And that's just one big link in a big chain. As a director, you have to think about every single link in that entire chain. So it was quite difficult to take the director hat off and put the actor hat on because I didn't realize it as much. But when I'm an actor and I'm on set, I'm not thinking about anything else, which is kind of helps me perform because I just kind of block everything out. I don't think I have a clear mind and a clear conscience, and I'm just able to focus on the words and being in the scene. Whereas a director, I'm thinking about the next shot. I'm thinking about the clock. I'm thinking about the scene, the camera moves, the way the performances should look, the way this should happen, so my mind is just racing. In fact, at one point, I was just sitting there thinking, and I had one of the crew guys come up and go, "I can literally hear you think right now." I'm like, I know. So shutting that off was a bit difficult, but I towards the end of the shoot, I of course got it then.
Man on man.
Whoa. That's a different show, apparently.
I think Supernatural has had a tendency and has done it well, has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And here we are in season 7, and we've gone from Sam and Dean trying to kill one demon to all of a sudden all the demons are let out, and we've opened Hell's Gate to all of a sudden there's the apocalypse to all of a sudden there's Lucifer and Michael out of the cage, and now we have a mutated angel calling himself God. And so we've gotten bigger and bigger, and right now there's nowhere to go but to really focus on what got us here in the first place, and that is the relationship between Sam and Dean and the car they know and love, and to really go back to basics. Bobby Singer, obviously, and try and figure out what got these guys here in the first place and how are they going to get themselves out yet again.
And I think one of the bigger kind of underlying subject changes is that now the guys are no longer the hunters, they are the hunted. Which is a position that they've never really found themselves in. Right. So that's going to shake things up. It's kind of who can get to each other first.
We're losing a lot of our allies.
We're losing a lot of our tools. A lot of tools of the trade have been taken away from us. So the kind of all the resources are really getting stripped down to the bare minimum because they're being hunted by a force that is not just the authorities or the FBI, anything like that.
Right.
They're getting hunted by a an evil, and the evil is incredibly intelligent. So it's they're really having to shake their tail and to throw up the smoke screen as best they can, much more than they ever have in the past.